Atalanta are 7th, but are now just 2 points behind Inter in 4th place. So all 3 UEFA Club competitions are potentially still up for grabs in the final weeks of the season. Spezia really struggling under Semplici. They are winless in 6 games. They've got 1 win in 14, and they're above the relegation zone on head-to-head goal difference. In terms of the 2 teams today, late changes for Atalanta. Rasmus Højlund injured in the warm-up. Luis Muriel comes in. Also in goal, a change as Musso comes back in. Marco Sportiello is ill. The other alteration sees Ederson make way for fellow South American Duvan Zapata, who is recalled after netting the winner at Torino on Saturday. For Spezia, 4 changes as they refresh and look for that winning formula. Former Atalanta man Arkadiusz Retsa starts, as does Dimitros Nicolaou, Medi Bourabia and Kelvin Agudelo. The quartet of Atalanta-Loni, Victor Kovalenko, Ekdal, Esposito and Verde drop to the bench for Leno Zemplici's 10th game in charge of L'Aquila. They are still without their leading goal scorer Mbala and Zola as well. 13 times he's found the net. The man in charge for this one this evening is Livio Marinelli. He's given more penalties than any other Serie A referee this season. One man checking if there are any potential spot kicks is Marco Guida. He's in Lissone at the VAR hub. So much Serie A action to bring you tonight. Lecce, their game at Juventus is live now on 1. Our game on 2. You're with us here. On 3, it's Salernitana against Fiorentina down on the Amalfi Coast. And Sampdoria against Torino is live now on 4. And so much more action to come later this evening as well. So Gasperini ready. The fans piling in here for this early start. Spezia in their change kit of all yellow for this one. See how they get on. They were beaten by Monza in their last game on Friday. They've had a bit of extra time to prepare for this one. Such a place in Luca Gotti in late February. Leonardo Semplici has only managed 1 win so far, that at home to Inter. They are getting us underway here at the Gewis. Possession, Arkadiusz Retsa. Looks like they are sticking with the back 4. They did play a 5 in that win against Inter. It's just an alteration of personnel by the looks of things today, rather than their shape. A recap of the teams for you across the foot of your screen. It's the 3rd time the teams have met this calendar year already, let alone season. They also met in the Coppa Italia here in mid-January when Atalanta sent Spezia packing with a 5-2 victory. A couple for Ademola Lookman, who's not involved at the moment due to an ongoing hamstring issue. Here's Davide Zappacosta. Free kick won by Retsa. He was with Atalanta for the best part of 4 years, only made 3 appearances for Ladea in the end, all as a substitute. Would certainly go with the change kit that Spezia are wearing. Foul on the captain, Emmanuel Gyasi. It's the Spezia coach. Save Cagliari from relegation previously. Hoping the 55-year-old can work his magic with Spezia as well, but it's been tough going for him so far. Been getting plenty of draws though, which has ultimately kept their heads above water. First there from Luis Muriel. Inside by Dragowski. Muriel. Zapata. Deflection. Taking it behind, and Atalanta have the game's first corner. slowly pacing his way up and down the dressing room just a few minutes ago as we got a glimpse inside the inner sanctum of Atalanta. Here comes the first set play. Scalvini trying to get into position, it's just past him. We'll keep you up to date with the goals as they go in elsewhere. In the other early kickoffs, Milan, Lazio, Roma, Inter all involved in 8 o'clock kickoffs UK time as well. Feast of football this midweek in Serie A. Napoli's title bid still not done yet. They're 1 of 2 games tomorrow as they play at Udinese. As things stand for Atalanta, they're in 7th position, but only a couple of points behind 4th place Inter. A battle right to the last as things stand. As I was saying earlier, they could well have done enough already for European football of some description, depending on the result of the Coppa Italia final. Place that Inter would win, should they secure the trophy, would be deferred to 7th in the league. By Giorgio Scalvini. Roon. Out to Rafael Toloi, the captain. Zappacosta. Blocks there was Muriel. He's currently sitting on 99 Serie A goals. Two sides have met several times in recent years, but before 2020 the last meeting was back in 1939. They've never won here. Only ever victory they've managed against Atalanta was in 1931 when Attilio Maggiani was at the helm. A rare Italian in charge of Spezia in those days. 5 of their first 6 head coaches were Hungarian. Given away and picked up by Gyasi. He carries on his run, laid off by Shomurodov. Zappacosta looking for a way out and gets it. Well, some of these early kickoffs can be tame affairs in terms of atmosphere, but no problems here. A stadium where Atalanta have had a mixed season, it's fair to say. They've won 7, they've lost 5. They did beat Roma here in their last outing 3-1. Pasalic, Toloi and Koopmeiners all on the score sheet. Muriel. Zappacosta. Just out of play there, off the boot of Pasalic. Wait to see what the damage is to Rasmus Højlund. Tweaked something else on the turf in the minutes leading up to the game. So a couple of changes that Gasperini wasn't expecting to make yesterday. Juan Musso, a late replacement for Sportiello, who we understand became ill overnight with flu. Ampadu. Bourabia. finding a way out here. Aquile. Zapata trying to apply the pressure. Smelled by Dimitrios Nicolaou. Djimsiti to Scalvini. So one of 4 wins in 6 games for Atalanta that have put them right back in contention again. Points in their last 6 games is the most any side has managed in the division. So they're clearly doing something right. Spezia, though, looking to cause an upset here. On here for Muriel, but coming to cover Dragowski. Dragowski, a man who continues to have admirers elsewhere. Very much focused on this relegation battle at the moment. The referee finally awarding the free kick here to Atalanta. So a side that does tend to come on strongly in the second half. Something that has massively entertained over the years under Gasperini, and certainly here at home this season the fans haven't been disappointed. More goals in this stadium than anywhere else in the league. Three. Wanting Atalanta to head back a little bit further.
Gyasi. Score very early on in the reverse fixture that ended 2-2 in La Spezia. So going 2-0 up in that one. Atalanta came back, and the 92nd minute equaliser from Pasalic, grabbing a point. Well, 0-0 here, but there has been an early goal elsewhere, and it has come at the Arecci, much further south than us here, and it has come for Salernitana. Bourabia with the goal after just 10 minutes, his third in as many games, giving Salernitana the lead there. Maehle. Frustrated there that he didn't have a pass on ahead of him. Muriel taking that one the wrong side of the line. Muriel's first start for over a month today.
Scored one league goal this season. 32 now, the Colombian. Playing up top today with his fellow countrymen. Zapata. Great ball there for Pasalic. Loose touch there by Muriel. Chance for him to break an unwanted record today. Hasn't scored in his last 18 appearances in all competitions, 16 in the league. His worst run for some 8.5 years. Rezza. Bastone. Over in the middle there by Djimsiti. Neither side able to really find any kind of fluidity yet. So often see that many of the Serie A teams will rotate in midweek. Coaches fearful of a 3-game run in the space of 7 or 8 days, but only 2 outfield changes for Atalanta here. Toloi. Zapata loose. It's like his strike partner. You can see how split they are. That's because Pasalic will quite happily push on into that middle area as he's doing here. Chasing was Bourabia. Zapata, that was a nasty one on his ankle there from Nicolau. It's a firm warning. Maehle. Here into Koopmeiners. Nice return, but really well cut out there and had to be as well. Atalanta have their second corner. A little bit of a deflection on the way through there. Didn't quite run for the Danish fullback. Had a couple of games to go in the draw at Fiorentina. Pasalic, nearly turned in at the near post. Angle was tight there. It was Toloi. Noise coming from both ends here at the Gyasi. Looping corner onto the head of Koopmeiners. He's taken for Dragowski. That's been a goal in Turin as well. Well, Lecce thought they'd taken the lead, but one was ruled out for Hassan Cisse. VAR overruling there due to offside. That was only after 3 minutes. And then 10 minutes later, the opening goal for Juve scored by Leandro Paredes. We're heading up to second place with all 3 points as things stand. Coming up for you on BT Sport, we've got plenty of exciting action for you from across the continent. Starting with Verona's game against Inter. That's 7:45 tonight on 2. And And then to the Olimpico for Lazio against Sassuolo. Same time, 8 o'clock on 3. Oh, here comes Spezia, they're in here with Gyasi! It's 1-0! Spezia silencing the home crowd here. The captain stepping up for Semplici's side. And he's scored both games now against Atalanta this season. And the 100 or so fans in the away end jubilant with that strike. He was all alone as the ball came into his path. Bastoni it was who helped it on, and Gyasi had the simplest of touches home. His opening goal in the reverse fixture coming after 8 minutes. This one just short of the 19-minute mark. Spezia, for now at least, on the road to what could be a huge win for them at the bottom and their fights against relegation. Sampdoria and Cremonese almost certainly going down to Serie B. That third spot still up for grabs in a weird kind of way. They're above Verona on head-to-head points only at the start of the evening. Now it could be 3 points ahead of them, depending on if they can hold on here. They've only kept one away clean sheet all season. They're going to have to be tight, compact, and with concentration throughout from here on in. Zappacosta taking the throw quickly. Roon. Koopmeiners. Koopmeiners who played in the front three against Torino, playing a touch more withdrawn in this one. Toloi. Muriel. He's done really well. Great perseverance. Koopmeiners asking a lot there of Maehle. Spezia have won this twice away this season. No wins in their last 6 games away from their own patch. They have though drawn 4 of their last 5. They've been picking up points, even if not maximums. And fans getting frustrated, but so much more time to go yet. Taken on, that's nice. Shomurodov. Uzbekistan forward, couldn't quite find a teammate though. Scalvini. Zapata giving chase, and the goalkeeper Dragowski didn't get there quickly enough. Wisniewski had to take action. Will be Muriel to take again. Scalvini running from deep in towards Zapata. quite get the contact that he wanted. He and Muriel have only scored 3 goals between them this season. Hasn't been a potent strike force, though. Højlund and Lookman, I beg your pardon, have been taking many of the headlines. Lookman, the joint 3rd top scorer in Serie A. Muriel. Pasalic going on. Another corner. Atalanta responding well to going behind. It was a crucial boot on that there from the right back, Kelvin Amian. Muriel, better to Toloi, and again on the rebound, it's still there, Koopmeiners. Well, they're getting a few chances now, even if they are only half opportunities. Toloi just pulled off his marker there. Good save by Dragowski. It was set in the end by Djimsiti, but hammered over by Koopmeiners. Spezia chasing another here. They've conceded the free kick. Gyasi going in a bit too strong. Toloi. Zappacosta was well advanced there, he'll take this throw. Zapata. Great strength and bringing teammates in as well. Maehle. Scalvini, the 19-year-old. Scalvini, Pasalic, Zapata turning, here's Zappacosta. All lacks the weight it needed. But Spezia coming under more and more pressure here. Zappacosta. Over away by Nicolaou. All the space here, Muriel. Well, he could have gone for goal himself. He's selfish in his play. Could have shifted it and shot. The danger not over yet for Spezia. Koopmeiners. It is now. Ampadu's header. Pause here because of an injury issue. Maybe just slightly tactical from Dimitrios Nicolaou. Here's the goal again. Well, clearly onside. So it was slipped through to Gyasi. So I'm not totally sure it was a through ball. I think it might have been a heavy touch, in fact, from Simone Bastoni. Zapata. Not too many spaces to play in here for Atalanta. Spezia compact and tight in defence here. Scalvini. Wisniewski is down here and the referee halting play. Rolling him into the recovery position here, which isn't a good sign. Toloi just being told by referee Marinelli why player's been stopped. See exactly what happened. Wisniewski carried the ball away, but then just went down. Very strange. Understandably, the referee halting play. Ice to his head. Hopefully, he's okay. We'll just use this pause here to tell you what we've got coming up for you after this replay. Now, here's the touch from Bastone. I think he was trying to take it on for himself there. Gyasi, thankfully, coming on to score. And a slight touch of fortune there against Gasperini's side. Woking Bromley in the National League, 7:15 tonight on One and Ultimate. And the Copa del Rey final is coming up from the Estadio La Carturia as well in Seville. 8:30 on Saturday night on One for Real Madrid against Osasuna. Osasuna looking for their first title in that competition, only ever runners-up before. Hopefully Wisniewski's okay. Leonardo Semplici is just trying to work out what he's going to do here, should he need to make the change. And, nick below the eye here for Wisniewski. He was only signed from Venezia in January after a 6-month spell, having left Górnik Zabrze in Poland. Spezia and the medical staff here will be making further assessments before he comes back on. And he is back with us. Roon. Toloi. Zappacosta. Early run here from Zapata. Great thinking. Even Zapata going down, no penalty. It was the returning Przemysław Wisniewski. He was the man who had his arms around the attacker there. Let's have a look here. Forward. So that strike was no joke at all. Hammered home there on the volley. Lovely stuff. Bouncing right in front of Dragowski as well. He stood next to no chance. Atalanta on terms, it's 1-1. Goals of the season here, no doubt about that. And they want another. Offside though against Zapata. They don't tend to fare well against the sides in the top 10 Spezia. They've won just 2 of their last 24 against all the big hitters in the league. Amongst all the big hitters in the league. They don't. Scored on the road. Koopmeiners for his last goal on the opening day of April. Starting May in emphatic fashion. By Ampadu. Remarkably, or maybe not, depending on how you look at things, is still a Chelsea player. His fourth loan spell away now. Supposed to really put down some roots after a season with Venezia last year that ended in relegation. Just kept in, Wisniewski away. Nicely worked. Maehle. Pasalic! It's a great stop by Dragowski. It wouldn't have counted. Belated offside flag being raised on this near side. The ball back to Martin Roon there. It was fairly clear to everyone concerned he was off. Ampadu. Well, Sampdoria are really struggling, aren't they, at the foot of the table, and they find themselves behind today as well. A goal just after the half-hour mark from Alessandro Bongiorno for Torino, as then 1-up away from home. Chance here for Atalanta. It is Pasalic. Offside. Dragowski. That ball out there that was risky, and it was Muriel who had stayed in that offside position. Hopeful they can turn this one around now, the Atalanta fans. Been in good goal-scoring form in the last month. And Fiorentina have found the net more than them. And after a spell from February to March where they only found the net 5 times, right at the bottom of the standings at that point. Only Verona have scored fewer. Gasperini's side back on goal-scoring form now. To March where they only found the net 5 times. Right at the bottom of the standings at that point. Only Verona have scored fewer. Gasperini's side back on goal-scoring form now. Roon. Koopmeiners has advanced well. On here for Spezia. Shomorodov taking it on now. Agudelo. Back on to Amian. Ampadu. Looked like he was caught. And in the end gives away the free kick for handball and is yellow carded. Silly yellow card to pick up there for the Welshman. Who does tend to get booked fairly often. And his 8th yellow card of the campaign. Fiorentina found themselves an equaliser at Salernitana. Nicola Gonzalez has equalised there, 1-1. Down at the Arecci. Zapata. Motoring on the outside. He's saying it was shoulder to shoulder. Away by Bastoni. Atalanta, I think with Zapata, well they nearly did, it's another yellow card coming out now. They've just got to try and keep their cool here, Spezia. Very quick to go to his pocket there, a foul from behind on Atalanta attacker from Simone Bastoni. Free kick for Atalanta. They trailed here relatively early on after a close range finish from Gyasi. Koopmeiners will deliver here. Scalvini the closest to. Only scored one spectacular goal from range. With Maehle trying his luck that time. Here's the goal for Martin Toloi. What a finish it was. Minutes left of this first half. Been a few goals about in Serie A already this evening. All the games are live for you across our various channels, and a couple have gone in at Juve. Well, he was denied a goal earlier on through a VAR offside check, but now has scored from the penalty spot, Asan Cisse, to make it 1-1. But just 2 or 3 minutes later, Juve have managed to go back ahead again through Dusan Vlahovic. So lead restored there. This one looks like it's going to be finely poised at half-time. Confirmation of that second Juve goal for you. Very warm evening here, by the way. Temperature touching 20 degrees at kick-off. Sweat across the brow there of Ethan Ampadu. Zapata. Just rolled on top of there. Eventually a free kick is given by the referee. He felt the full force of Bretzer on top of him there as he fell to the ground, an elbow in his back. Thrown to Muriel, who has had a busy week already. His partner Tashi gave birth on Monday. Gasperini was explaining post-match as to why Muriel may have been a little bit off it in his cameo appearance against Torino on Saturday, with that child expected. Zappacosta just keeps it in. Here is Muriel. Roon. Koopmeiners. 3 in the way. Martin Roon. Zappacosta. Another couple of minutes added on here because of the injury to Wisniewski, among other stoppages. Toloi. Spezia creeping further and further back here. We've got the option of counters at the moment, really. Bourabia. Atalanta started slowly, but become the dominant force as the half has gone on. Even if they have only had 2 shots on target so far. 3 minutes of added time. Roon. Zappacosta. Defensive line of 6 here for Spezia, for Atalanta to try and break. Muriel. Roon, Zappacosta trying to find a way through, but gaps are few and far between. Pass out there. Better. Gyasi. Muriel not quite at the races so far. Zapata has been much more lively. I don't think either of them have had a shot of any note yet. Gyasi. Zapata, Pasalic to the head of Ampadu. There's a shirt pull there by Roon. Referee acknowledges it was a foul, plays the advantage. Zappacosta there sliding the ball out of play, but Rezza trying to make something of it. He was the only one that saw anything wrong with that. Something to work with for the coach at half-time.
only won 5 games all season. It's time for the first half, all square at the break. Spezia finding themselves ahead inside 18 minutes through captain Emmanuel Gyasi. He converted from close range. Roon converted from long range. A stunning volley as the ball came back out to him. He lashed it into the bottom corner. All square at half-time here at the Gyasi. Atalanta 1, Spezia 1. They're leading 2-1 against Lecce. It's all square between Salernitana and Fiorentina, while Torino have a slender lead at struggling Sampdoria. So many more games to come later on, including both Milan clubs, Lazio and Roma as well. And then tomorrow night, Napoli trying to get the job done finally against Udinese. All the games live for you across the BT Sport Network. A sun-kissed Gyasi Stadium. Wait to see who is going to emerge with all 3 points if either of these sides do here in the second half. Spezia started okay, but Atalanta taking control after that. No changes at half-time for either side, so as you were. Okoli, the players coming to the side today, going back to Dragowski. Atalanta conceded the throw here, took a nick on the way out of play. Champions League returns for you next Tuesday. Manchester City's quest for a first European title continues at the Santiago Bernabeu. They're away to Real Madrid. It's live from 7 o'clock on One and Ultimate as well. And then the other one next Wednesday. What a tie this is going to be. Milan against Inter, 7 o'clock on One and Ultimate as well at San Siro. Atalanta looking to turn this one around. Back to Roon. There'll be plenty of pressure from them in the 45 minutes that remain. Koopmeiners. Scalvini. Koopmeiners. Zapata. That's a great turn. Still has work to do. No penalty. Well, he's had a couple of battles now and gone down both times, and the Atalanta hierarchy, Luca Bracassi and co, not too happy with that. Djimsiti was battling away with him. His path has been technically blocked, but as we all know in football, there is a different unwritten rule for fouls in and outside the penalty area. A corner is coming up. Muriel sends it long. Toloi. Zappacosta. Incoming Pasalic. Dragowski has to get it. Koopmeiners. Pasalic looked like he was coming back from an offside position. And turned behind by Amian. Cranking up the heat. Muriel again. Flashing across goal, no one able to turn it home yet. Zappacosta does! Comeback complete! 2-2 for Davide Zappacosta. It's taken them fewer than 3 minutes in this second half to flip this game around totally. Known for his goal-scoring ability throughout his career. It's his 8th goal for the club across 3 spells now, and they took a heavy deflection on the way through. Two deflections in at the end off Djimsiti. Atalanta now leading as many expected them to. They want more, and they want them quick. Pasalic, Muriel, Zappacosta again, and Dragowski this time able to get hands to it. Nearly a quick-fire double there for the Italian. That comes up to Maehle. High boot it was after that. Towards the head of Agudelo, who has it now. Not for long. A lot more zip in Atalanta's play since half-time. They're playing quickly. Pasalic. Scalvini. That's Koopmeiners. Roon, scorer of the first. Scalvini. On a misses from the Atalanta youth products. He's brought to the club as a 12-year-old from Brescia. He's not looked back since. Could be the next big sale here at Atalanta. Muriel. It's a great run. Turn Koopmeiners, Zapata in behind this time. Duvan Zapata, angle tight. No one able to follow in. That was a great run though from the striker, who's really looked on it today. Pasalic. Can't hold on to it. Pasalic again. This is so much better from Atalanta. And Spezia, no, they're in a real big battle here to take anything from this game now. Koopmeiners. Pasalic. Pasalic again. Agudelo. Spezia struggling to make the halfway line at the moment. They barely get over it here. Mario Pasalic. Zappacosta. Nicolai behind. A capacity here of a little over 21,000, but they make plenty of noise. Runs from deep coming. Zapata! Nearly off the arm. Muriel! 3-1! And a goal dedicated to his newborn. Points secured. Atalanta with another big 3 points, staying here in Bergamo.
man who wasn't even going to be in the starting lineup. Højlund injured in the warm-up. And a 100th Serie A goal for Luis Muriel after a run of 18 games without finding the net. Finally that run is over. So many bodies throwing themselves at that one, but he found the gap. That was the initial chance they had. Muriel holding his position and dispatching for just the second time this season. And he's coming again here. Luis Muriel looking for Zappacosta. His contract is up at the end of the season. He nearly joined Roma in late January. It does look as though he will be moving on in the summer. Where to, we don't yet know. He's 32 now, so in terms of age profile, clubs will be looking for someone maybe 4, 5, 6 years younger as they come into their prime, rather than someone who won't have any resale value at the end of their contract. Well, that goal that Gyasi scored for Spezia feels a long time ago now. 3 goals for Atalanta in a 22-minute spell either side of half-time. Amian giving away that free kick. Koopmeiners. Just a touch beyond Zapata. Muriel's 4th goal against Spezia and his ton now in Serie A. Only his 2nd goal this season. He managed 9 last year after a career best 22 in the 2020-21 campaign. He had his 1st goal since a strike against Udinese back in October. Spezia ready to freshen things up. They're going to take off Ethan Ampadu here. Albin Ekdal will come on in midfield. Ekdal, one of those left out today. Bastoni also off. Esposito on. So the 2 players making way, the 2 who were cautioned in the first half in the space of a couple of minutes. Esposito on loan from Spal, having joined in January the Italy under-21 international. Scalvini was turning there, couldn't readjust in time. Roon, Maehle, Zapata. Zappacosta wasn't the first to it. Toloi. Maehle. Here they come again. Joachim Maehle. 4 options in the middle. It comes through to Zappacosta. A touch from the goalkeeper over the top. It may have clipped the bar as well. What a header that would have been. They're really turning it on in this second half now, Atalanta. One wing back picking out another. Bouncing off the crossbar. Muriel to the head there of Pasalic. Lovely diving header there from Zappacosta, but an equally top save from Dragowski. Fiorentina had got themselves on terms with Salernitana just before the break, but the side have re-established their lead. It's the second of the game for the informed Bourabia. The Senegalese making it 2-1 there. All the home sides winning so far tonight, apart from Sampdoria. Juve 2-1 up on Lecce. And a lead here for Atalanta, which is surely going to be enough. A rare chance here for Spezia in this second half. Haven't had a shot of any description yet. They still haven't. Toloi taking charge. Agudelo. He had it taken away by Roon. Zappacosta, well positioned. Just wonder whether Gasperini might try and freshen things up now, especially with this 2-goal cushion they have. One for them on Sunday as well, as Juve come here in the early kick-off. Their hardest game for a few weeks with Salernitana away and Verona to come here the two after that. Spezia do go on to lose here, as is looking to be the case. They have a chance to bounce back away at Cremonese on Saturday night. Second bottom. Struggled for victories all season. Agudelo, space, but unable to beat Juan Musso. Lacked any kind of power or direction. Stop for the Argentine, retaking the gloves from the ill Marco Sportiello for this one. Who made his name in Argentina at Racing. The iconic Cilindro, just over the road from Independiente in the heart of Buenos Aires. Just having a spell here, and they've got themselves a goal back. It's Bourabia. Only his second for the club, but his first since September 2021. Maybe this game isn't done yet. I said there have been plenty of goals here at Atalanta this season, and this game typifying that. Slightly relaxed in the ball back there by Toloi, and Bourabia getting there first to cut the gap to 1. Atalanta with work to do again. Smiles on their faces again. Starting to believe there might be something in this game for them yet. Atalanta have yet another corner. It's number 6. Muriel. Couldn't find anyone in blue and black. Certainly been the game of the evening so far here. So much more still to come for you. Atalanta are ready to make changes. Players being called back here. Spezia are going to make another switch as well. Zapata. Receiving the free kick as he pulled Nicolaou to the ground. Seeing the introduction here of Salva, the Spanish right back is going to come on. He's only made 3 substitute appearances this season, and also Djimsiti is coming on as well, the young Slovenia youth international. So another double change. Amian making way at right back for Salva in a straight swap. Gymnastic in 2019, but his chances this season have been few and far between. Also Luis Palomino coming on, Ederson brought back in as well. It's going to be Pasalic and Muriel to make way. Boga also coming on here for Atalanta. So all change. Muriel off after his goal. Scalvini, the other man to come off here for Atalanta. Well, Spezia have themselves a corner. And it comes right up ahead of Koopmeiners. Esposito. Udello's flick. Only finding Musso. This game still to run. Atalanta needs another goal again now, just to be sure. Djimsiti away. Spezia with another corner here. Esposito over this with the outswinger. Header just past the post. Nervous times here for Atalanta and their fans. Wisniewski up from the back. That head injury, didn't he, in the first half, but showing no ill effects there and throwing himself into the mix. More Serie A action for you later on tonight. We're heading to Verona for their game against Inter. 7:45 on 2. And then Lazio taking on Sassuolo. 8 o'clock on 3 for that one. Lazio, who, as things stand, are dropping to 3rd with Juve winning against Lecce. Retake 2nd place though if they win all 3 points in that one against Sassuolo, who are in lower mid-table. To be clear though of the relegation zone. Jeremy Boga. Palomino. Zapata. Zappacosta back here. Palomino. Roon. Boga. There's not a lot to do there in the end. It's back here with Ederson. Zappacosta has lost a boot over there, but play goes on. Maehle, Boga. We've had 5 goals here. There have been 4 in Salerno, where Fiorentina have now equalised for a 2nd time. Jonathan Ikone has got the leveller there. Boga, it's a determined run. Was slowly losing his balance as he was caught on the way through. Found himself past Salva. Did catch him ever so slightly there and lost his footing thereafter. Down. That's good take, and a brave one as well from Juan Musso. Gasperini not happy at all. Well over 300 games in charge of Atalanta now. He's been at the helm since the summer of 2016.
was 8th for them last season as they missed out on a place in the playoff stage of the Europa Conference League by 3 points behind Fiorentina. They finished badly, losing 5 of their last 8 games and ultimately missed out, but they have tried to restructure things and have had far fewer games to contend with this season. Congerton, formerly a recruitment chief at Leicester City, now working in the backgrounds here at Atalanta. Helping the acquisition of Adamola Lookman, who was with the Foxes recently. Agudelo yellow carded here. Foul on Boga. Boga poking that one in. Maehle. Roon. Toloi. Zappacosta scored 3 minutes into the second half. Goal back from Bourabia. It's just made things a little bit interesting. Former Morocco international, he wasn't part of the squad that went all the way to the semi-finals at the World Cup in Qatar. No doubt would have been cheering on his fellow countrymen after what was quite the achievement. More live football to tell you about. The National League, Woking against Bromley. We're into playoff territory now. 7:15 tonight on One and Ultimate as well, in what has been a thrilling season in non-league. Real Madrid against Osasuna is the Copa del Rey final for you on Saturday night, 8:30 in Seville on One. Here, Atalanta just about have the lead. Looks like it could be a nervy finish. Just given a solid account of himself against his former employers. More pass to Emmanuel Gyasi. Told 10 minutes ago was going to be replaced by Sipo, but that change never came to fruition in the end. Koopmeiners didn't release quickly enough. Boga. Maehle. Sides conceding possession, to the annoyance of their watching fans. By the way, in scoring 3 here today, Atalanta, they have managed more than 2 goals in back-to-back home games, the first time since November 2021. They want a 4th, but given away by Ederson. Miners handled it there. Late call from the referee after appeals from all of the Spezia players. Hush. So high up there. Reminder of all the other games we've got coming up for you later across the
bottom of your screen. 2 Milan sides and the 2 from Rome as well. All in action. Then tomorrow we've got 2 more games for you, including Udinese against Napoli. Gyasi trying to turn, Zapata of all people back there to hack clear. Gyasi was diving into that challenge. Atalanta started the second half with so much intensity, but haven't quite been able to carry that on as the second 45 has progressed. Zapata underneath this, but doesn't win the header. Dello gives it away. Lovely back heel into Maehle. Salva back. Roon seizing upon that loose ball. Koopmeiners. Roon. Zappacosta. Zapata. Done everything but score here. Close with a header in the first half. Full of work rate throughout the game. This is a great run. Quite results in a chance for Shomurodov. Problem here for Agudelo by the looks of things. Signals to the bench that he's probably going to have to come off. They couldn't quite trap it there. Looks like they are ready to make a change anyway, though. I think it'll be Raymond Krollis who is stripped and about to come on here for Spezia. Atalanta have issues of their own. Bourabia is going to come off here. And they're saying Gyasi is definitely making way now. I believe it when I see it. Daniele Verde is going on. Did score here in the Coppa Italia defeat in late January. Demiral has had to come on here. The substitute has been substituted. Jose Luis Palomino, whose season really started badly. He was out injured until November. The veteran making way here. Only 15 or so minutes after coming on. Also plenty for Salernitana this afternoon. They have all come from Bourabia. The third has come from the penalty spot, and they're now 3-2 up against Fiorentina. Dragowski without any pressure on him, has time and opportunity to pick a pass forward. Salva attacking Verde. Boga. That's great play. And again, he's passed two. Jeremy Boga into Zapata. Totally miskicked. Maehle. Boga. Zapata. Boga's still there, and Zapata wanted it for himself. No foul. Roon. It's now 3-3 between Salernitana and Fiorentina. Biraghi has equalised there just 3 minutes after Ja completed his hat-trick. 3-3. Well, Gyasi is definitely still out there. Twice now the Italians have told us that Gyasi is making way. I'm not sure whether they're trying to suggest he should be making way, but he's definitely still out there. There he is on the far side, the winger. Bourabia and Agudelo, the men making way. Krollis and Verde came on. Overhit, but picking up the scraps is Daniele Verde, the winger here. Oh, and a slice over the top from Djimsiti. Krollis, by the way, who has come on, and Gyasi definitely not making way. It's a very interesting tale. He's only had a couple of sub-appearances this season, including last time out, but hit 25 goals for Valmiera in his native Latvia before joining. He's barely been given a chance in Italy. Off the bar! Wow, what an equaliser that would have been. Inches away there from 3-3. Verde was the substitute who connected with it so sweetly. Launched it towards that far corner. Fine margins in football. They're still smiling for now, but for how much longer? They've only lost 3 of 9 games under Semplici. Number of draws in there against Udinese, Verona, Salernitana, Fiorentina and Sampdoria. A game they'd have hoped to have won away from home, but it wasn't to be. Salva Ferrer, the loose touch, and it's out off him for a goal kick. Has undoubtedly been one of the star men today. He's led the line brilliantly for Atalanta. Heavy touch by Wisniewski. Presents a chance here too. Duvan Zapata. Koopmeiners. Back in the end, Djimsiti. Musso sending it as far as he can, but Boga would have been offside. Now he has a chance. Maehle without An opportunity there really to slip one in behind for Boga. And Chelsea and Birmingham winger. He's like playing in blue throughout his career so far and was having his ankles nibbled all the way there by Salva. See on the clock on the LED boards there are only 30 seconds left of the 90. Plenty of added time to come with the subs we've had so far.
Spezia.
4 minutes on the way. Hasn't really been a game with lots of tactical time wasting, but we understand that next season will be the time when they bring in the additional time, if you like we saw in the World Cup. There were some big numbers added on at the end of both halves. It would be a tad unfair to do it in the middle of the season. Going home. Atalanta almost there, but it's a nervier finish than they would have liked. It's always been a bit of a struggle for Spezia, just their third ever season in the top tier after finishing 16th and 15th previously. Spent the majority of their history in the third and fourth tiers. To make sure they can stay up again and try and push on next season. The Aquila. The Little Eagles, as they're known. Nicely taken there by Shomurodov, who will go for goal. Perhaps showing why he's only found the net once this season. The man on loan from Roma. Another change. Roon Soppy is coming on here to see this one out. Look at Maehle making work. He's only made couple of appearances since before the World Cup. By no means a regular in Gasperini's side. Just 90 more seconds for Atalanta to hold on here. They would go up to fourth in the table with many of the teams around them still to play, but they'd be doing their bit at least. And a third straight win for them. Winning 3 in a row for the first time since September. Everyone staying behind to try do all they can to help their side here. Atalanta are actually 4 points better off compared to this time last season, by which time they'd also lost 9 games. Now, a chance to finish it here for Zapata. Didn't fancy the aerial duel. Dragowski got a hand to it, and that'll be enough to see Atalanta through. been a really fun game to watch for the neutral. Ultimately, for fans of Ledea, it could have been much more comfortable for them. When time added on top of added time now because of that substitution that brought Brondon Soppy on. This is the last kick. Came off the boot there of the defender Demiral. There is still time. Not anymore. Atalanta have the points. Their third win in a row. Davide Zappacosta, one of the goal scorers for them today. But in the end, the match winner turned out to be Luis Muriel, a man who wasn't due to start the game, a man who went on to grab his 100th goal in Serie A to end his barren run in front of goal. The struggle goes on for Spezia, who will wait until at least Sunday's game against Cremonese to get themselves a much-needed 3 points. 7 games without a win for them. Atalanta the winners by 3-2. Coming up for you from the National League.